Hello and welcome to PRL. It is the pre-season race. I do think we are live. If not, then I will have to do this again. But yeah, I think we are live now. I just need to quickly post the link into the chat and then I will get it going. Where is it? Right, so that is the link in the chat, and now I can get to commentary. So hello and welcome to the pre-season race. We are at Malaysia for this pre-season race. As you can see, we've got 17 drivers for this pre-season race, so it's good to see. And you'll see we've got some very interesting teams this season. I for one don't really know the teams. I've just noticed that Haribo and Kara are together as a team, and I can already tell that team is going to be very, very threatening this season. I do believe Max is with Flair, so again that can be a very good team if Max does pull the results out the bag. Louis is with, I'm just flicking through trying to find a McLaren, to be honest. I don't think his teammate is actually here, so obviously everyone would have seen the title decider at Abu Dhabi. That was the first race I commentated on, and afterwards I did get sort of asked to commentate full time, and I did agree to it because that race was insane. But I am on my own. Obviously you would have seen Smithy with me in the commentary box for Abu Dhabi. He's racing this season, so best of luck to him and everyone else this season. But current championship holder Decky is not here, so I don't know whether he just couldn't make it or whether he just didn't want to race. But nevertheless, we've still got 17 drivers who are willing to turn up and race, and I'm just going to see who's on a lap. Let's go with Max because I'm not really sure he got much TV time at Abu Dhabi. I know he did end his own race, but let's see if he is on a lap. He's not on the lap, so he must have got invalid. Let's go Haribo. I know Haribo is very quick. Let's get rid of all this. Let's see what he can do as Kara's teammate. And Agne's actually retired, so I don't know whether he's binned it or whether he has just retired for the fun of it. But because Haribo enters sector 1, looking very, very clean at the minute. And yeah, I mean Haribo is also one to look out for. You would have seen his name at the top of every time trial, and he's sliding through, still sliding but managing to keep the car. So fair play to Haribo. I for one need to adjust myself to that because I can't seem to keep the car when it's sliding. But yeah, again looking very tidy from Haribo here, tipping the curb, keeping the back end down through that low traction zone, coming to sector 3 now, goes wide. Ooh, manages to keep the back end, as I do believe this is looking like a very good lap so far from Haribo. He might feel different though as he comes now to the long straight. Something I can feel an eternity if you get the exit all wrong, but Haribo comes to the last corner, taking a very wide entry, clipping the apex, lovely there, getting a nice run at the last corner. What can he set? Let's go to the camera, and he does set a 31.2, and Kara, his teammate, actually set a 30.9, so fair play to Kara. Michael's gone pole with a 30.9 as well. So Michelangelo looking very good. I can see the other Toro Rosso there of, who is that? Of Falcon. So Michael and Falcon teaming up, so this team is very, very dangerous because these two both are very, very quick, and you can see most guys putting in times, and the only person who has retired is Dear Agony, as Max loses the back end. I caught the beginning of that and switched, so he's in the wall, and it's a sort of familiar sight seeing Max in the wall, to be honest. But let's hope he can get back to the pits and come out again and set a flying lap. Louis in 12th on softs, I think that is. Don't know why he's done that. Maybe I think he feels not a strategy coming on. I know he's run for weird strategies, but Yeah, so far Michelangelo leading the pack here with a 1:30.9, a very, very good lap from Michael. And then we've got Kara not far behind at all with a 30.9 as well. Then Kara's teammate Harry won in third, and you've got two Force Indians there. I don't know whether they're giving each other slipstream or not, but we've got PRL or Blue in at 9th place at the minute. Let's see if he is on a flying lap. Oh, goes wide and he goes into the pits, and so does his Neo, his teammate. So again, I'm learning all these teams. So Neo I've heard is very, very quick as well. PRL Blue, I'm not really sure who he is, and Falcon goes pole with 30.8 now. So already I can tell this season is going to be very, very close in terms of pace. Let's hope Falcon can get back in time. He's ghosting. Let's see if he's got fuel. He hasn't. So Falcon's run out of fuel. He's got just 3 minutes to get back to the pits, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it. So we could see a retirement from Falcon, as we've got Louis now still on the lap. Let's go on board with him as he comes out of the first couple corners, looking very good, and I do believe he is in lean. So he has set his lap 31.4 on the set of softs as well, so that's not bad for Louis, showing great pace as well. He on his day can be very, very quick, and again, I don't know who his teammate is. Let's just quickly check the race director so I'm not missing anything. So you've got Michael and Falcon P1 and P2, Toro Rosso, so very good for them at the minute. Then you've got Kara and Haribo third and fourth. They're no doubt going to come out and improve. Then you've got the Force India of Neo in fifth, and then his teammate PRL Blue in 10th, so not bad from the Force India team. Then you've got sort of one from each team. You've got Louis in 6th and a McLaren, Mitch in 7th in a Williams, so he can, I think Mitch can no doubt improve as well on his time. And then you've got the Sauber of Rick in 8th, and then you've got Gary in 17th in the other Sauber. So yeah, these teams are looking very, very formidable already, just by one or two of the drivers in the team. So this season is going to be very, very close, not just for the drivers but for the constructors, as Louis did make it to the pits and didn't actually run out of fuel, so fair play to him for being able to do that. Let's see where Falcon is now. See Falcon, I don't think Falcon's going to make it back. That's unfortunate for Falcon. Would have been nice to see him out, trying to maybe beat his time, as we've got Karen out on an outlap, Haribo on an outlap. So the two Ferrari boys are going to be the first to set their laps, I do believe. Got Max as well, so Max is also one to watch out for. He on his day can be very, everyone on their day here can be very quick, so that's why, you know, I decided to commentate this season, because, you know, this league is very, very quick, and just some of the times I've seen people post, not just for Malaysia but for the opening race in Australia, it's going to be a very, very good race. But yeah, so let's go with the Ferrari boys. Let's see if they can take Michael and Falcon off the top step of qualifying. Time will tell. There's 2 minutes left. The only retirement is Dear Agony, and the only person to not actually roll, there's 3 people not to set a time. That's Smithy June, which I'm surprised about, and Gary. Now I know Gary's not on the pace of some of the top guys, but he, you know, was obviously one to watch out for. So keep one eye on these guys at the bottom, especially June. June is very quick as well, as I keep saying. But yeah, I think Kara has just started his laps. Let's go on board with Kara as he starts his flying lap. Let's see if he can improve on his 30.9. All he needs to do is find about 2 tenths, I'd say, to go pole. So let's hope he can find that 2 tenths as he rounds the first corner, clipping the apex in the second corner, back end kicking out a little bit, but not too much. He won't lose that much time from that. Look at the steering wheel now, see if he is up in his sector 1 time. I didn't show, as Falcon retired, so yeah, Falcon knew he wasn't going to get out in time. We've got Michael setting his lap now, but we are with Kara, and then we've got Haribo as well, just started his lap as well, so we could see these timing boards absolutely flash up the last couple minutes of qualifying. But again, Kara looking very clean so far compared to his teammate Haribo, whose back end was sort of everywhere, but Kara back end looking very, very stable and stuck to the floor. Let's see if he's up on his time, see if it actually shows from the steering wheel, and it has not again, so I have no idea if he's up on his time. He looks like a very, very clean lap, but don't forget Haribo has got time to find in his lap, because we saw him sort of half spin in sector 3 coming off one of the curbs. But this lap from Carroll looks very, 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 very clean, as we've got Smithy who's out. I believe he must have got invalid, or just didn't want to. Oh, he actually set a time at P8, so that's fair play from Smithy. I didn't actually see that. As we go to Carroll, he goes wide into the last corner. I don't think he was meant to do that, but whether he got a better run or not, we don't know. He's going to come to the line now. Can Carroll get pole? It is a 30.6. Incredible, incredible time from Carroll. As we go back to Michael, and I do believe he's either on a lap or come in to start one, but we've got PRL Blue who's gone fourth, so fair play to him for going fourth. As we go to Michael now, looks up a little bit into the last corner. That's not going to affect his time too much, gets a much better exit. Let's see what he can do. Haribo goes third, and Michael goes pole with a 30.4. Wow, one to watch now is Louis. Oh, as I say that. One to watch is Louis. Oh, he's in the wall. So we've got Mitch on a lap. Again, watch out for Mitch. He can improve still. And Max. Where's Max in all this? Max. What is Max doing? Again, Max in the wall. I come to him every time he's in the wall. Not good for Max. And now we go to June in the Mercedes. Let's see what this Spaniard can do in this Mercedes. As Mitch is the only person in the top 10 to still be on the lap, and Max crosses the line. Obviously doesn't improve. Gary doesn't set a time. Racer's just crossed the line as well. He doesn't improve. Mitch is on a lap, so he's actually 2 tenths up. So far he's looking at about 6th, maybe even 5th if he can nail this third sector. So this should be a very, very good lap from him. And then we've still got PRL Jerry on a lap, I do believe. So yeah, these two could still go up the leaderboard in qualifying. Let's see, as Mitch comes to the final corner, he comes across the line, he sets 31.2. I did say he's looking at 6th, maybe 5th, and he did get 6th, so fair play to Mitch. Let's go to Jerry now, see what he can set as he comes across the line. He sets a 31.2 as well, so very, very tight, but the standout performance has to be Michelangelo. I did not expect him to get pole by more or less 2 tenths, so again, fair play to him. You know, he's rapid on his day, and he's proven that today, so fair play. This race should be very, very good, as Michael's the only person to still be on his way. So if he would like to retire, then I do believe formation lap is off, I think, so we will get straight into racing. But yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised. I mean, surprised that Louis didn't improve either. I must have got invalid. Let's just have a quick look, see what Louis would have set. So Louis was on for a 23.3 sector 1. Yeah, he was down on Michael's time anyway, so I don't think Louis would have got pole. He would have been up there, but I don't think he would have got a pole off Michael. That lap is incredible for Michael though. Very, very good lap. So that's P1 for Toro Rosso and P3 for Toro Rosso, with Falcon there setting his lap. It's a big shame for Falcon to not set another run, but that is qualifying. Michelangelo, as I said, takes pole with a fantastic lap with a 30.4. Then we've got Carroll, championship runner-up last season, 30.6, so he's carrying on from good form from last season. Then we've got Falcon in 3rd, Haribo in 4th, Doom in 5th, PRL Blue in 6th, PRL Mitch in 7th, Rick in 8th, Neo in 9th, and then we've got Jerry in 10th with Louis in 11th on the soft, so watch out for him. Then we've got Smithy, YHYY, F1 Racer, Max, Dear Agony, and Gary rounding up the top 17 drivers. So again, this race is going to be very, very good. Well, not it's only pre-season, but these guys would have taken it seriously. They would have wanted to put on a show. Just because I'm commentating, they sort of want to show their form, show their pace. I've got to skip that as I'm in the Red Bull garage. sitting with the lads. Okay. I do believe there is not a formation lap, so as I said, when these guys make their final preparation for the strategy, I mean, it could rain in the race. Again, I have no idea what weather's like. It looks quite cloudy as well, so I guess we'll see what everyone's strategies plans are as we go to the final 20 seconds for everyone to make their adjustments. Everyone seems to be readying up, so let's hope in the next 10 seconds we will go racing for this pre-season race in Malaysia. And I do believe there is a formation lap. So Michael, I'll go through the order again for those who missed it. Michael getting pole from Cara in second, then we've got Falcon in third and Haribo in fourth. So the Ferrari team and Toro Rosso team rounding up the top four. Then we've got Doom in fifth, PRL Blue in sixth, Mitch in seventh, Rick in eighth, Neo in ninth, who I got told to sort of watch out for, so I'll definitely be keeping one eye on him. Then we've got Jerry in 10th and Louis in 11th. He's actually started on super soft, so let's have a quick look to see whether that's a glitch or not. No, it's not. So we've got we've got Smithy in 12th on super soft, then from 13th down to 17th. So we've got YHY on softs, Racer in 14th. So the Renault team both going for the soft tyres, so if they can keep it clean off the line, they could still be in this race. And then we've got Max as well on the softs. Again, he's obviously one to watch out for, but every time I keep saying that, he always ends up in the wall. So hopefully he can convert what I'm saying into a good result, at least in this pre-season race. Then we've got Dear Agony, who retired very early on in quali in 16th. Then we've got Gary at the back in 17th, and yeah, that rounds off the grid. And while the guys are gonna finish off their formation lap, I'm just gonna take a quick breather, have a drink, have some food, and then I'll be back for the race start. So we are about to go lights out, and away we go for this race. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Looks like Michael's got a good start, but Kara's not going to let him get away so lightly. Then we've got the Toro Rosso, a Falcon going down the inside. Haribo, Kara, that was gone right around the outside, has actually gone off track, so he's going to lose a ton of positions as he comes back on track. He is now down to P6. That promotes Falcon now, who has managed to get past Haribo. So now we've got Toro Rosso 1-2. So the Toro Rosso team having a dream start, but don't forget Haribo is still there. What can he do? He's going to go round the outside of Falcon. Now Falcon leaves him just enough space. With a little bit of contact, Haribo's forced off. Nothing too bad in that. Good clean racing. Now Juman's actually found himself up into third place. So fair play for Jum, who actually managed to avoid all the carnage at turn 1. Then we've got the other, that's Kara going wide, I do believe, and now we've got still Michael and Falcon P1 and P2. Then we've got June in P3, who's actually made up a couple of positions. Then we've got Mitch in P4, Haribo down to P5. As you see, Williams there getting very sideways. That's Mitch, and Haribo's going to go right down the inside. Thank you very much, easy as that. Haribo back up into P4. Let's see if we can go after June and potentially get back to where he started in P2, I do believe. So yeah, let's go down the order now. We've got PRL Blue down the order. Max is losing places, whether he lost the back end or not, I don't know. But we've got Haribo losing. Oh, Haribo's upside down! Oh my god! What? I'm sorry. Wow, so that's Haribo's race is pretty much over right now. Then we've got Max doing battle, then we've got Neo in the pits. So let's go to Racer, who is side by side with the Williams of Smithy, I do believe. Yeah, Smithy got the inside line into turn 1. And I do believe that's move done for Smithy, it is, so fair play to Smithy. And I don't think Haribo got any damage from that. He didn't, so fair play to Haribo for not getting any damage. We've got Kara now in 7th. He's now being pursued by Louis in 8th, but there's a little train forming here from 6th onwards. But at the front, Michael with an 8-10th gap to Falcon. He might be telling Falcon to sort of back up and let Michael get a bit of a gap. But Doom is still 3rd and hot on the heels of Falcon, and Mitch has also made up some positions as well. Let's quickly have a look. No, sort of fastest lap leader. Position change. So yeah, Falcon making up 1 position. Doom 2 positions. Mitch. So the biggest gain has really been midfield runners. So you've got Max in 11th, who's made up 4, and Gary from last on the grid has found himself in 12th place. He is on the soft tyre, so he's definitely one to watch now, as he's overtaken everyone behind him and hopefully going to overtake some more people. But yeah, it's been a very good race so far. A good start as well. I think the highlight so far, Haribo upside down. But yeah, we've got to Louis now, who's all over the back of the Sauber of Rick, and easy move. But Rick's going to come back at him now, so let's go on board with Rick and see what he can do. And he's going to go right around the outside of Louis. Louis not going to like that. He's going to want to defend the inside, but it looks like Rick's running much lower wings than Louis, and Louis going to dive it down the inside. Ooh, I don't know if there was contact or not, but Louis being bold, being brave, and looks like he's actually got the move done round the outside. He has, so fair play to Louis. Very good move, and yeah, nothing much to say. But Rick is still there. He isn't going to let this place go. Is he going to dive down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. So Louis is now up into P7, and Kara's now up into P5, so he's now past PRL Blue and Rick. So again, he's looking to claw his way back, but as we saw with Haribo, he ended up upside down. So I doubt oh, and there's a Renault in the background. I do believe that is F1 Racer. That's unfortunate for him. He lost the back end as Max went past, so Max was lucky to not get tangled in that as well. So Max now up into the points in P10, and Smithy's now in P9. So Max is now going to go after Smithy. And there's, oh, who is that? That's Gary. So Gary gained a place and then lost it again. But he's not going to let Jerry get away. Let's go on board with Gary then, see what he can do. See if he can get the move. Oh, I think that's wing damage for Gary. Slides the back end out, and now the other Red Bull of Diagony is going to try and go past. I think Gary's just going to let him pass here, as Gary will have to pit for a new wing. That's unfortunate for Gary. He made such a good start off the line, as Michael seems to be just leading away, but Kara still keeping him true, as he's now right behind Mitch, and Kara's going to go right round the outside. He tried to turn 1 and it failed miserably. Mitch has contact. Kara's still there. And that was a great move. Hard races from both of them, but very fair looking at it. And Mitch is not going to be happy with that, but Louis is right there as well. So this could be a three-way battle in the next sector or so. So no doubt Louis is going to want to get involved in this and make his way up the grid from, I do believe, started 11th. As Gary has pitted and fitted the medium tyres. Is he going to try to go to the end? I don't know whether he can on a set of mediums. But, oh, Mitch loses the back end. Is this going to allow Louis to get right behind him? It has, and he's actually right behind Kara as well. So Louis having a wonder start here at Malaysia. This is pre-season, of course. None of this matters towards the championship, but most of these guys are going to want to put on a good show and show everyone what their pace is, and Louis right now doing what needs to be done, as we've got a three-way battle now between Kara, Mitch and Louis. Doom seems to be dropping off the back of Falcon, who loses the back end. Oh, Doom's right behind him now. I've got on just in time with that. And now Doom, he's going to have DRS now. So let's hope he can catch Falcon. Maybe pressure him into another mistake. And Rick's getting past the Blue, and Smithy there in 8th place looking to get involved round his outside. Let's see if Smithy can make the move done. Oh, the force in the brake way later than Smithy. Terrible camera angle. Smithy wasn't able to get the move done, but he's going to get DRS now. And slipstream from Rick, so this should be an easy move for Smithy, and looks like it is. But I know the Force Indians are going to make it easier, or he did. So the Force India actually backed out, and Smithy now finds himself up into P8. So good racing so far from what I've seen here. And Louis is now right behind Mitch, and Mitch is still right behind Kara. So this battle was just heating up between 6th, 5th and 4th. If I know one thing, I know Louis is just going to drop back, but now Smithy going for a move on Rick and actually makes it stick, and ooh, that was almost wing damage for the Force India PRL Blue, but I think he was able to avoid that. And Louis actually gone for a move on Mitch. Now I don't know whether Mitch might have lost the back end, but Mitch, he's got grass inside, looks like. So Mitch must have lost the back end and now lost the place to Louis. Now Louis can go after Kara, and the gap now is sort of stabilising between 4th, 5th and 6th. But the closest battle on track at the minute is Falcon and Doom, and Doom's actually managed to make the move on Falcon. So now Doom is now up into P2 and has actually had a wonder start, but Falcon is no slouch. He's not going to want to let his teammate potentially be under any pressure from Doom. And then we've got Kara in 4th, recovering from his absolute mare, and Falcon almost locks up and runs into Doom. Let's see. Oh, Kara loses the back end, so does Louis. It's like a train of losing back ends. As we go to Falcon, he's gaining on Doom. He's going to go for it. Oh, he has. Oh, there's a little bit of contact going into turn 1. Forces Doom wide. Doom is not going to like that. And Falcon regains a place there. So, again, hard, but I think kind of fair racing. Falcon's in touch to go for the move. Excuse me. But all this battling is only going to allow Kara and Louis to catch up, and it looks like Doom went for a move on Falcon down the inside but wasn't able to make it, and now Falcon is being put under pressure. But all this battling is allowing his teammate Michael to just sail on into the distance, Sunday drive type of thing. But look how close these guys are. Let's go on board with Louis for this, because this is no doubt going to heat up. Louis actually got a run on Kara. Is Louis going to go down the inside? No, Kara defends nicely. Louis going to have to go around the outside, and Kara, oh, that wasn't intended. He's trying to defend off Louis, but managed to not run into Doom, and Louis is still behind Kara for now. So very good drive from Kara and Louis, and even Doom, to allow Kara to have the space. But Doom's got grass in his tyres there. He's going to be very, very slippy back end, and Louis gets the back end. Kara down the inside. What a move from Kara. A little bit of contact, but nothing too much. And now Louis is going to go past him as well, round the outside. Doom is not going to like this racing from some of these guys, Falcon and Kara being one of them. But you can see Doom is now going to have DRS, but now Louis has now got DRS and is now going to go around the outside of Doom. Brilliant camera shot of this battle. As you see, Doom is not going to want to give up the place to Louis. Louis goes around the outside, braking way later, but goes a little bit wide. Louis is going to now have the inside line for turn 2. And is this move done? It is. So Louis now up into P4. So Louis had a wonderful start as well. And then we've got Kara right behind Falcon. He's going to go for a move here into turn 4 or 5, I do believe. And Kara down inside of Falcon. Minimal contact. I'm surprised they didn't force each other wide. But Falcon is still there. They're side by side. What's going on? Where's Falcon? Oh, they're still side by side. And Falcon loses the back end. Louis is there. Oh, that could have ended badly, but Falcon managed to keep the back end, and now Kara finds himself back up into P2, so now he can give chase to Michael, who at this point has got a 5.5 second lead. It's going to be very tough for Kara to bring that down, but if I know one person who can, it is Kara. He is absolutely blistering in terms of race pace. But let's not forget that Decade Championship winner from last season is not here, so it would have been interesting to see where he's stacked up compared to these guys. You can see now Louis is now right behind Falcon, and Falcon just looks like his tyres are off. He's making many mistakes, and now Louis will have DRS on Falcon, but Falcon will also have DRS on Kara. So is Louis going to go for it? Ooh, Falcon locks up, and it looks like Falcon is pitting. Excuse me. So Falcon is the first to pit. So let's hope he can get some sort of an undercut, maybe force even Louis, Kara, and even Doom to pit, as we've got Max now up into P5. So Max is having a very good start So we've got Falcon and Doom in the pits, and Rick. So this could be interesting. If they get a really good undercut on the likes of Louis and Kara, then any one of them could find themselves in P2 by the end of the pit stops. But Kara is catching Michael. It's 4 tenths now. Michael, ooh, back end sliding out. He's going to want to be careful. One little mistake and Kara's going to be pouncing on him. It looks like everything is quietening down now. We've got PRL Jerry and PRL Blue about to go into combat. Let's see what happens when Blue loses the back end a little bit. That's only going to help Jerry catch up and make an overtake. But Jerry goes deep though. Wide on exit, and Max is out. Where's Max? Oh, he's lost his wheel. Oh my god. What has happened there? Where is that? Oh, I don't know where that is, but Max has lost his wheel and he's out of the race after looking so strong in the race. That now leaves, I do believe, he hasn't pitted yet. So Falcon is, obviously with the exception of my, oh, saw PRL Blue there go off. I saw that just as I was flicking through. So Blue has gone off. That now promotes Agony into 7th, who's actually having a very good run. Falcon's out. Falcon lost the back. Oh, Falcon lost the back end. He must have spun and has lost the back end and has called it a day. So Falcon is going to be very disappointed with that. But one person who is not going to be disappointed with that is Kara. As we've got Louis and Kara about to go into battle. They are side by side, but Kara looks like he's kept the position for now. And now this battling has allowed Michael to get that gap back up to 5.5 seconds. As we see people pitting now. Let's see what ties are going on. Kara gets on the curve a little bit. This is only going to allow Louis to stay with Kara. But again, all this battling is helping Michael get away from Kara and Louis. So Michael now can just relax. But with his teammate out the race, his rear gunner potentially gone. Let's see what Michael can do. He's got a 5-second advantage, so you know, no pressure yet as he loses the back end. But we go back to this battle for 2nd place, Louis and Kara. So let's see what these two can do. Kara getting a magnificent exit there off of the end of sector 2. As we've got, I think we've got Mitch now right behind F1 Racer, who we saw have a half spin earlier, so his confidence is not going to be as high as other people around him. So let's see if Mitch can make the move on F1 Racer. So far this has been a very good race considering it has been pre-season. So we've got to wrap things up. Ooh, as Mitch runs wide, locks up a little bit, but manages to stay right behind F1 Racer. Let's see if he can make the move with DRS, and Louis and Kara have pitted. So it'll be interesting to see if they come out in traffic, and Falcon has left the session. So let's see if Mitch, he's right behind the Renault of F1 Racer. Let's see if he can make the move down into the final corner. He's gaining down the inside. F1 Racer not really putting out much of a fight. And is that move done? I do believe that is move done. So yeah, very good move from Mitch and good racing awareness from F1 Racer to allow Mitch to go past. But as of yet, Michael was still carrying on, and Haribo is as well. So Haribo now up into P2 from his awful start and actually ended up upside down. I don't know how he managed to do that, and it was very funny, but things happen. It's Codemasters. But yeah, we can see Louis on mediums and Carol's actually opted for the softs. So I don't know whether these guys are going to have to stop again, and Louis might be able to go to the end from here, but I know Michael will definitely go for the softs. He will definitely go softs. So now with Michael on one softs and and Kara on the fresh softs, let's see if he can close the gap to Michael. See, he's almost a second from second in front of Louis, and now he's going to be coming under pressure from PRL Mitch, who's actually jumped a couple places, I do believe, and June's actually lost a couple places. So whether he's had battles when pitting, I don't know, but sort of everyone's sort of evenly spread at the minute. So I'm just gonna have a quick drink and I'll be back in a minute. So as we return back to the race, Michael has indeed pitted, and Kara, in that one lap he had, he took 2.5 seconds, I do believe, out of Michael. So very good undercut from Kara there to gain time. But Michael's, this race is not over yet. Michael has fortunately come out in clean air, so he's not going to complain with that, and he's going to be on fresher softs than Kara, I do believe. So Michael's doing a very solid job at the minute in terms of strategy and keeping Kara behind. But don't forget about Louis, he's on the mediums, he can definitely go to the end, but if he can stay within touching distance of Kara, he's no doubt going to be very effective and very quick towards the end of the race when these guys' softs start to go off the clip. As Haribo finally pits after his issue earlier on of being upside down, he's now decided to pit, so he will definitely, most more than likely, go on to the softs as Michael retakes the lead and Kara sets a fast lap with 34.1. It'll be interesting to see now what Michael sets, because we've got Mitch still only 7 tenths behind Louis, so even though Louis is on a harder tyre than Mitch can't seem to close the gap. I mean, Louis isn't getting DRS either, so Louis obviously showing incredible race pace here compared to Mitch on the harder tyre as well. So yeah, Mitch is going to have to get a move on. But we now have a battle brewing between 6th, 7th and 8th. We've got F1 Racer in 6th, Doom in 7th, who's looking to recover from his earlier incident, I do believe. And we've got Rick as well getting involved, as Doom looking very, very racy. Is he going to go down the inside? He's very close, but no, he backs out of it. Smart moves there, and Racer goes wide, so this now would allow Doom. And look at Rick, Rick's looking to get involved, Rick goes wide, as this, is Doom going to go for it? Doom goes for it. F1 Racer again leaving space, being very respectful, and Doom loses the back end a little bit. This is only going to allow Rick to go down his inside. Does he go for the move? No, he doesn't. Stays behind. As we saw Racer there clipping the gravel on exits. This is only going to fuel this battle even more, as Rick's right behind Doom. So this battle's been incredible. Doom looked like he went down the races inside, but doesn't. So let's go on board with Rick. Perfect view of this battle between these three guys. This is the battle for 5th place, of course, and Rick's gaining on Doom a lot there. And Doom had DRS as well, and he's going down the inside of Racer. Can he get 2 places in one straight? It looks like he has. So very well done from Rick, as Racer dives back down to get some slipstream, and now Doom is going to try and get 2 places into turn 1. He goes down the inside of Racer, and a touch hand of frustration from both drivers there. Looks like Doom is going to get the move done around the outside of turn 2. It's a very good move from Doom, but hats off to Rick there. 2 places in one straight. I have no idea what wings he's running, but crazy move, and fair play to him. He's now in 6th place, and hopefully he can go to the end from here. But yeah, going back to Mitch now, he's now over a second behind Louis, so whether Mitch just isn't on it with the soft tyres or not, I don't know, but Louis is still keeping within touching distance of Kara. The gap is now 1.5, and now Kara is actually closing the gap slowly to Michael. He's now 7 tenths behind Dear Agony, who is the only person not to stop. No, F1 Race hasn't stopped as well. So yeah, as Kara goes down the inside of Dear Agony, didn't want to waste too much time, and now the gap between Michael and Kara is now just below 3 seconds as we head down to the end of lap 13. Michael's doing an incredible job keeping Kara behind and sort of keeping him at bay. But don't forget about Louis. As I said, Louis will want to get the move done. Louis just like, oh no, Dear Agony was pitting. Okay, so Louis made the move, and now finds himself up into 3rd place from 11th place on the grid. I think Louis qualified, so fair play to Louis. He's shown incredible pace and is also one to watch out for. But yeah, Smithy's in 7th, so he's running well. Haribo's in 8th after his malfunction. I don't know what happened to him, but Haribo's clawing back some positions, which is good seeing. Haribo gets a 3-second penalty for that slight cut at turn 2, as F1 Racer now decides to pit. Now everyone's pitted now, so this is the legitimate positions now. So let's quickly run through the order. Lap 14, halfway point. Michael leads Kara 2.2 the gap, so he's bringing that gap down massively now to Michael. Louis 2.4, so Carroll is absolutely dropping Louis now. Louis dropping Mitch in 4th, Rick in 5th, who made them 2 magnificent moves on Doom and F1 Racer. Then we've got Doom in 6th, who is on the mediums as well. So towards the end of the race, Doom and Smithy in 7th are going to be very effective at the end. And we've got Haribo in 8th, who is closing the gap to Smithy, obviously being on a softer tyre. Then we've got PRL Jerry in 9th, Diagni in 10th, who has finally pitted and has gone on to a set of mediums. I'm actually quite shocked at that. Thought he would have went softs, but then we've got PRL Blue just outside the points in 11th, YHY White in 12th on the softs, F1 Racer, who has pitted as well, and is actually behind Neo, who is actually in 14th. So I don't know what's happened to Neo, whether he got wing damage or had to make another stop. Yeah, he did, so he's had to make 2 stops, and Gary's actually back down into last after his magnificent start. He's had to make another pit stop along the way. Must have got wing damage again, as we've got now Neo on the back of F1 Racer, but looks like he can't seem to close up, and there's actually yellow as Gary off in sector 3. Again, looks like he hasn't got wing damage. I think he might have slight wing damage. It's unfortunate for Gary, who, Neo, very, very quick into the pits, but doesn't actually get a penalty, so fair play. I think we are going to see Gary retire. Yeah, that's fair play from Gary, and maybe even Neo and YHYY, who does, is that his first pit stop? Oh no, it's his second stop. So yeah, very, very entertaining race so far. I'm only halfway through, so let's quickly go through the order as we see Kara absolutely closing the gap to Michael now. So will Michael start to feel the pressure, or will he know that Kara's tyres are going to go off a lot quicker than Michael's? Because obviously I don't know whether Michael's pushing or whether Kara's pushing, but he's absolutely dropped Louis in 3rd, and Mitch is there or thereabouts with Louis, but at this point there's not really much. I mean, the closest battle at the minute is between Doom and Smithy, who I know are very good friends, so we could see a good battle between these two in the next couple laps maybe, if Smithy can get close enough to Doom. And there's actually yellow in sector 3 there. I don't know who that was that? I don't know who that was, but yeah. Again, this battle now between F1 Racer and Blue starting to heat up as well, so could we see Racer go for a move on PRL Blue into the first corner? Only time will tell, but it's like Racer didn't get DRS, or did he? It looked like Blue did. I don't know how Blue got DRS. But anyway, F1 Racer was able to still close the gap. Smithy is still 8 to 9 tenths behind Doom, so can't really seem to find just that little bit more pace to close the gap. As F1 Racer is now only 3 tenths behind PRL Blue. But yeah, so far it's been a very good race, and you know, this is only pre-season, so imagine what the actual race is going to be like. Also, I know we're missing Decky and a couple of other people, but this season is going to be immense, and I hope you guys do enjoy the commentary. It hasn't been a while since I've done it on my own, so finding talking points is a lot harder when there's no action. But Mitch is actually pitting again. He hasn't got wing damage, so I'm guessing he's just pitting for a set of supers maybe. So this will promote Smithy up into 6th and Doom in 5th, so we could see a battle for 5th place, and Haribo is sort of still catching Smithy, so don't rule out Haribo just yet. He could pass both Smithy and Doom if he can keep it clean and set quick times, but Mitch does rejoin in 10th place and is now on a set of fresh softs, so he will no doubt be catching the likes of Agony and maybe Jerry. I think Haribo is just too far ahead, but well, stranger things have happened, but Smithy is now closing that gap too, with Doom in 5th. Let's go on board with Smithy then. Excuse me. Who I do apologise for that. My mic just completely died and my controller turned off for no reason, so I'm going to unplug my controller actually. Yeah, so going back to the battle with Smithy, as you know, was in the commentary box for the finale of last season. He also had nothing to fight for and wanted to see the battle between Decky and Kara, who isn't really closing the gap now to Michael, so whether Michael's just sort of up the ante a little bit, I don't know, but hopefully Kara can close the gap. But Louis again, not really making any inroads, which is quite shocking. And Doom and Smithy down the inside, now the outside for turn 2. Has he made the move stick? I do believe he has. So fair play to Smithy for making the move. I sort of missed it at the beginning of that move, but now that Smithy up into 5th place in the pre-season race is very good. I know he said to me that to watch out for Neo, but he's right at the back. So I don't know. He must have just had a bad pre-season race, but yeah. I mean, at this point there's not really much going on. We've got Mitch on them fresh softs, willing in agony. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, commentating on my own is good, but then when it's like this, there's no action. And PRL Racer is off the track, so he's lost the car somewhere and just hasn't been able to keep it on track. It's unfortunate to see, because he was actually having a very good race. Excuse me, as Doom is now behind Smithy now, so he will now have DRS and can maybe have a go at overtaking Smithy, as Haribo is still catching these guys. So Haribo looking very good here, so let's hope he can catch these guys in the next few laps and potentially move up into maybe 5th place, even 4th, because Rick isn't that far ahead of Smithy, Doom or even Haribo, so we could see a nice 4-way battle towards the end of this race for 5th place. And Mitch going down the inside of agony before turn 1, and yeah, with them fresh softs you're going to be much quicker than guys around you who are on medium tyres, sort of quite worn at that right now. But yeah, now the gaps are sort of stabilising. Obviously the only battle is to fight for P7, 6 and 5. So we will stay with this little midfield battle between Smithy, Doom and Haribo, who I know are all very good friends, so this is going to be one hell of a battle between these three. As we go back to the front, we see Michael leaking out a gap now to 2.5, so maybe Kara's softs aren't at what they were, and Haribo's right behind Doom now. So over the course of this lap, Haribo's able to close in quite a lot to Doom. We go on board with Haribo. He's going to make the move down into the final corner, is he? Yes, Doom gives him the space. Haribo goes wide a little bit, but manages to allow Doom the space around the outside, and that is now Haribo up into 6th place. Haribo was now catching Smithy, and Doom looks like he's running higher wings compared to the likes of Haribo and Smithy. So kind of a hard one for Doom, because obviously he can't catch with DRS. Yeah, quite unlucky for Doom, to be honest. He could have been easily up into 3rd, maybe 4th, but it's unlucky. But it is only pre-season, nothing to worry about. Just to get a little taste and feel for people who you haven't raced with, or you know, getting used to being teammates with someone. But yeah, we've got Haribo now 7 tenths behind Smithy, who is actually catching Rick. So again, as I said, we could have a very good battle here for P4, 5, 6 and even 7. So this is definitely one to watch and will keep us entertained toward the back end of this race. Another little battle to watch out for is Mitch as well. He's now right behind Jerry, so no doubt he'll make the move in the next lap or two. As we go back to Haribo, he's now only 6 tenths behind Smithy. Smithy looked like he went wide into that corner, and Haribo's back end actually very happy, but managing to keep it. And now Smithy won't have DRS on Rick. And Smithy all touches the grass a little bit, makes the car still there, and Rick actually pits, so that promotes Smithy up into 4th place, Haribo in 5th, and Doom into 6th. As we go to Haribo, is he going to go down the inside? No, thinks better of it, so he's going to wait for maybe the next lap or even the next corner, because he's actually right behind Smithy now. But Smithy getting a much better exit than Haribo, so Smithy will keep Haribo behind for this lap. And PRL Blue has retired, he's lost it at the final corner, or done that himself. But that will promote F1 Racer up into 11th and Neo into 12th. And Mitch has managed to get past, and Jerry, I did miss that unfortunately, I do apologise. But the battle for 4th place is well and truly on now between Haribo and Smithy. June looks like he's just dropping off the back of these two now. But you know, with 7 laps remaining, watch out for Louis, because he should start to close the gap to Kara now. And Michael's looking very, very comfortable. He's looked comfortable from lap 1. You know, with obviously Kara going off and losing places, he's been able to keep the gap, stabilise it, sort of run his own race. And haven't really talked much about Michael, but at the moment he's doing a very, very solid job, and is looking like he will take the victory here at Malaysia for the pre-season race in PRL. But we go back to Haribo and Smithy, who not really got sort of tied for exit, but Haribo will have the help of DRS now, and Smithy, I believe he will know that this is moved done, but Smithy actually goes defensive, so Smithy's not going to give this out without a fight. So Haribo, is he going to go, ooh, a little bit of a switch back from Haribo there, another switch back coming out of turn 2 to see who can get a better exit. It looks like Smithy has got a better exit again, but will Haribo go for the move? He doesn't. So this is a very good battle between these two, very, very respectful battle. As I said, these two are friends and they do talk to each other in parties, so no doubt they're in the same party as we speak, and are sort of egging each other on. I know Smithy, wherever he finishes, you know, top 5 or even just outside top 5, he'll be very happy with his result. I'm happy for his result, you know, as a commentator, because, you know, he thought he wouldn't be up there fighting, but he is. And you know, fighting with Haribo, who isn't exactly slow, he's one of the quickest on time trial, so it just goes to show how quick Smithy can be if he had a bit of confidence. But it looks like Haribo will more than likely get the move done. Ooh, breaking way ahead, and Smithy there thought he was going to go to the back of him, managing to keep it, and Smithy actually getting much better exits out of the slow traction corners now. So are the soft tyres starting to go off? If they are, then Haribo's going to want to make the move around the outside into the last corner. But it looks like Haribo has finally got a better run. Smithy, ooh, defending, forcing him almost into the wall there. Very good driving from both of these two. Haribo knows he's got the move done. Smithy knows it too, but Smithy's still around the outside. He's still there, but gives up the place eventually to Haribo. So very good driving from these two over the last couple laps. It's kept us entertained, and now June, can he pounce on a mistake from either Smithy or Haribo? Smithy is still there, and Smithy won't give this up until he's maybe at a DRS range from Haribo. So now Haribo, excuse me, after his little incident where he was upside down, only finds himself, how far away is he behind the leader? Only 21 seconds. So I feel like if Haribo didn't have his little incident, he'd be up there with Michael and Kara. But yeah, nonetheless, he's done very well to get back up into P4, and Smithy as well, outstanding job from where he's. Where did Smithy start? I'm pretty sure Smithy started well outside the top 10, yeah. So Smithy and Louis both being the standout performances, and Dear Agony as well, making up 7 places as well, off 16th. Excuse me. So yeah, very, very good races from Agony, Smithy and Louis. But if I was going to, right now, I'd say driver of the day has to be Smithy, in my opinion. You know, I didn't expect him to be P5, I'm not going to lie, and I'm pretty sure Smithy didn't expect himself to be P5. So the fact he is proves just how good he's going to be this season, and yeah, it's just going to be an immense battle between everyone. You're not just at the front, you're going to have midfield battles, even people at the back battling. This is definitely one of the quickest leagues on PS4 from what I've seen in terms of lap times. But yeah, poor. Excuse me. As we come to lap 24, Michael now the gap 3.8, so now Kara's tyres are definitely dying, but still gapping Louis, so I think Michael's just been on it from start to finish and been very, very dominant, and is definitely going to be one to watch. He's definitely saying, you know, look at me, I can win races, and we're seeing it here today with the gap now up to 4 seconds. Excuse me while I get another drink. As we come back to the final 3 laps of the race, we've got Rick now on them fresh supers going around the outside of Jerry into the last corner. It's like an easy move for Rick, and maybe he can even get Mitch. He's only 3 seconds behind, and with almost, well, 3 laps remaining, if he can gain a second a lap, he might be able to make the move. But yeah, I mean, Smithy's now staying behind Haribo, so maybe the soft tyres are now not the right tyre to go onto, and Doom gets a 3-second penalty, so he's not going to lose position because Mitch is 10 seconds behind him. So it's just been a good race. I mean, obviously at this point, you know, there's not really much going on, so finding talking points is going to be a bit hard for the last 3 laps. Well, what I'm going to do is I might give my predictions for this season in terms of the drivers, constructors, and maybe some standout performances. In terms of standout performances, it has to be Smithy and Louis today, from starting outside the top 10 to being 3rd and 5th, so congrats to them two. But in terms of next season, I mean, with obviously the championship winner Decky not turning up, you know, you can't just obviously count him out. It's going to be very close between Kara, Michael, Decky, Falcon. You know, it's even Haribo. So many people that can win races in this league, and you know, it's going to be so close that one mistake and it's going to be it. You know, it's going to either win or lose your championship, and you know, next season I'm going to have to go with Decky again, because obviously Kara's very quick, but from what I heard from last season, Decky was just amazing all of the season. So consistency wise, I'm going to go with Decky. In terms of constructors, I'm either going to say Ferrari, which is obviously Haribo and Kara, or Toro Rosso, with obviously Michael leading the race at the minute, and with Falcon out, you know, if Falcon can get it right on his day, he can be obviously right up there with Michael and Kara. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very close, and all the races will be streamed on my channel all next season. So if you like what you saw today, then you're going to be very much pleased with round 1, because there are a lot of people missing who are very quick. I do believe that Decky, Flair, who else? Decky, Flair and someone else, I do believe, are not here right now. So I mean, if them two were here, then this race would have been insane. It was insane anyway, but obviously towards the end, a bit boring, but just trying to find talking points and trying to give sort of information. But one thing I'm going to do next season, I'm not going to do it today because obviously it's only pre-season. I don't really want to do it. As June retires, so June, I think he got a puncher. So yeah, June got a puncher. So that now promotes Mitch up into P6, Rick into P7, Darry in 8th, the Agony into 9th. So he's had a very, very good race from starting 16th. That will promote Racer up into the points and Neo into 11th. But yeah, as I was saying, before I got interrupted by June's retirement, I am going to do podium interviews, but obviously not today because it is only pre-season, so there's not really much point. But yeah, I'm not really interested too much. There's actually the yellows in sector 2. I think that's Rick. Yeah, Rick's gone off, so now Rick is now back down to P9. So every time I try to find something to talk about, someone either goes off or retires. So yeah, I'm not going to do podium interviews today because it is only pre-season, but next season I'm going to try and do pre-race interviews after the race. So we have podium guys in, and maybe even some guys who started or even finished maybe 5th, 6th, even 7th, or just had a very, very good race. I might have them in here as well just to maybe get their views on their race. So obviously having the top 3, it's good because obviously, you know, you get to see first, second, third and what their thoughts were, but it would be nice to have someone, I don't know, like let's say Agony for example, you know, finishing P8, making up 8 positions of starting 16th. You know, you'd want to maybe ask him how his race went, so I'm going to try and incorporate that, and even Smithy as well. Smithy's had a very good race, as I keep saying. But yeah, coming to the last lap now, and Louis actually closed the gap a lot to Carroll, so Carroll's tyres are starting to go off now, but that's going to make no difference to Michael. He's now coming towards the end of 28 laps, and those last couple laps sort of flew by. But yeah, I mean, Michael's been unchallenged today, and you know, fair play to him. He's obviously making a bold statement today and goes wide on exit, but he knows he's won the race. He's got a 6-second lead over the championship runner-up last season, so he's proving a very, very big statement here. And Louis actually closing the gap to Carra, but I don't think it's enough. And Michelangelo comes across the line to win the pre-season race here in Malaysia, so fair play to him. Congrats on the win. Carra comes home in second after his abysmal start, so fair play to Carra. And Louis comes home in third after starting outside the top 10, so Louis showing very good race pace. And Haribo will come home in fourth after being upside down at the end of lap 1, so I don't know how we've done that, but fair play to Haribo. Then we've got Smithy in P5, very good result for Smithy, he's going to be very happy with that. Then we've got Mitch in 6th. Oh, and actually Smithy got Haribo because of penalty, so Smithy finishes 4th and Haribo 5th, so fair play to Smithy. And Mitch finishes in 6th, so that's actually a 4th and 6th finish for the Williams team, so again fair play to them. As we've got Darry in 8th and Agony in 7th, sorry, Agony in 8th, so again Red Bull team picking up a good result here, 7th and 8th. Rick in 9th after his spin. Then we've got Racer in 10th, going to pick up the last point, and then we've got Neo in 11th, who was actually catching, I do believe, F1 Racer. But yeah, very good race, very action packed. Obviously towards the end it got a bit boring, but that's expected when it is only pre-season. But I can assure you, for the race it will be just as exciting. But this has been the pre-season race, as we know now come to the podium celebrations. And it is that man there, Michelangelo, in the Toro Rosso, collecting the trophy and bragging rights into turn 1 for round 1, sorry, out Australia, which I do believe is next weekend. So yeah, I mean, very, very good race for Michael, and well done to Carra and Louis finishing on the podium. And again, Smithy and Haribo, very, very good comebacks from these two. And yeah, just an overall good race, and hopefully you guys did enjoy my commentary. Obviously it's the first time properly commentating on my own in this league, and you know, it's only going to get better from here. But yeah, that's been the race, and as I said, next weekend I will try and get podium interviews done. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I do hope you did enjoy it, and I'll see you next week 7 PM for the start of season 16 It's going to be an absolute shocker. It's going to be fireworks, and I can only imagine that Michelangelo is going to go into that race with a lot of confidence. But yeah, this has been PRL, this has been Cliffy, your commentator, and I'll see you next week. Thank you and goodbye.